afternoon, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. I can't believe I'm finally sitting down to film this video after probably like 2 months of wanting to make it. It started out as just me having to make the normal July wrap-up like I've been doing for the rest of the year so far, and then it turned out that I didn't really have anything to show for July because July was a bit of a terrible month. It was just a very busy month with university and there wasn't much journaling going on, and then it turned out to be like the July and August wrap-up because at that point I'd already caught up with all of my July journaling in the Hon. And then I went away again and the only day that I had to film this video, it was really dark and stormy and there was no light to film with. So here we are. It's pretty much the end of September. It's the 25th today. So I guess we're doing sort of a combined July, August and September flip through. I also have some updates to share about my traveler's notebook system and some books that I've already done the unboxing for my 2025 lineup, but I'm gonna try to talk about it all and just give you like a big journaling and a tiny bit of stationery, but not much. It's really just a pen. I am probably gonna order some more stickers this month, but you'll see that. If I end up doing that, you'll see that at some point next month. So, just for a little bit of context, if you're new here, these are next year's books, so let's put those to the side. So what I'm using currently is still a very similar system to what I've been using so far this year, with a Hobonichi Weeks for planning, a Hobonichi A6 Hon for daily journaling and memory keeping, and then a traveler's notebook system as my other journal. Now I'm going to talk a bit more in depth about that in a second, and there's a lot to unpack there. Not all of these books are full, but there's a lot to unpack there still. But I wanted to kind of give you an update on the books that you already know first. So I'm going to put this to the side for a second, give you a very quick update about the weeks. I am also still vaguely using the Moleskine pocket size notebook. I don't have it with me here because it's in my school bag, but I am still using that for on-the-go notes. Especially I'll be kind of starting to use that more again because I've started university again yesterday. So I'm going to start carrying that around more frequently again, because I don't think I'll really be bringing any of my other notebooks to university. I did have the weeks with me yesterday, but I'm not sure if I'll bring it. I have my iPad calendar with me anyways, and I can transfer over any important information when I need. And I'm just afraid that if I keep the weeks in my bag, unless I find like a specific compartment in my bag for it, if I just keep it loose in my bag, it's just gonna get the pages are gonna get creased because it ends up like half the time it ends up facing this way and then you end up with something inside it, which I want to try and avoid. So I've just been using the weeks like normal. This is the first week that I've really set up my to-do list the same way that I used to do, with the art and filming related things, and then the university things, personal, and then my mood tracker. I'm gonna try this out again. It hasn't really, I don't know, I haven't already done it for a few months because I feel like without the structure of a university routine, this also wasn't working. But now that I'm back to doing that, I want to try this again because it did work really well for me in the past, and I'm curious to see if it'll work for me again. But I did just use the weeks like a planner, just writing day-specific tasks. I did for some weeks still have the running to-do list. Here I was recording drawing time. I'm not really doing that, but I am keeping track of on which days I'm drawing because I'm trying to build a daily drawing habit. This is a cute spread, kind of probably the fuller one I had for a while. Here I was starting to write my thesis, and this is where oh no, that's the day that I placed my Hobonichi order. And then this is when I designed my summer stickers, which are in the shop if you're interested. We're heading into autumn now, but they're out still. And then here I was using some of my older ones. Here is when this was at the end of July when I finished my lab internship, and I just had a lot of things that I wanted to do to like tidy up the house before leaving for holiday, so I just made myself a big to-do list there. This is when I was revising for my maths exam, so this is just a revision checklist. I did actually complete all of them, but I didn't go back and across all of them. So busy weeks. This is what July was like. It was not a fun month. Some stickers from Megan Rhiannon. Some more stickers from Megan Rhiannon. I really like these ones. I love the red and the green that she uses. I feel like they match very well. And then we have a blank week. This is the end of June already. So this was the last week of June, and then I think this is, like, from here onwards, I haven't really showed it properly. You've seen it in videos if you like keep up with the videos, but I haven't like properly shown it in a video like this. And then it's been a couple of weeks, a bit longer, I think, since, well, when did that get delivered? Probably since this week. Yeah, on the 9th, my Hobonichi order got delivered, and I placed my order through Stile, which is an Italian website. They have a little shop in Rome that one day I will get to go to, but I live in Italy, so it's just very convenient for me to order from them. And while I was ordering my Hobonichi products, which I'm going to show you in a bit as well, I picked up finally another TWSBI pen. In May, I bought myself a TWSBI Eco with a medium-sized nib. This is the Cafe and Bronze color, if I'm not wrong. I also picked it up from them, and I've really been enjoying it for drawing, but it's just too big to write on the small Hobonichi grid. My writing is absolutely illegible. I've tried it in Hon, I've tried it in here, it just doesn't work. So I've been using it exclusively for drawing, and I really love it, or for writing on like plain paper, but I really wanted to pick up an extra fine pen to be able to write on Hobonichi books, and I finally did, and it's been working great. I have this inked up with the same black ink, which is the Pilot Suero ink, as my other pen, and it's been working great. It's a really nice rich black, which is precisely what I wanted. I also bought this in May together with that pen, but since I have the extra fine, I've been able to use it in all of my Hobonichi books as well, including this book. So that's kind of where I started using it, and this is just what it looks like. It is a little bit thicker still than my Muji 0.5 pen, but I really love the way that this looks, and I really like the rich black of it. And generally speaking, I'm used to my Muji pen smudging in the weeks. This 2024 weeks, by the way, still has the old Tomo River paper, so, and I find that smudges more than the new one that is in the Hon. For me, I know that some people have experienced the opposite way around, but for me, that's the case. So I am used to, if I'm writing in this book, either putting a pencil board inside of it before closing, or turning the page, or just leaving it open for a while before closing it. So I haven't had any like smudging issues or anything. That's a bit of a mess there, but that's just because I wrote the wrong word. So there wasn't really any smudging there. So that's a little update for the weeks. I have also been using the back pages just to keep track of thesis stuff, really. I had a packing list and some stuff like that, but it's nothing particularly interesting. So that's one, and I guess while I'm at it, I'm gonna show you my new weeks for 2025. I got the Black Gingham paper series weeks. I also got the matching Hon. I'm gonna take the cover off for a second, because I feel like you can't really see the texture of it really well. There we go, that's a lot better. You can't really see the texture of it with a cover, and to be honest, it is a bit of a shame to have a cover on these books, because even with this week's, you can't see, there's a black design here at the bottom that you can't really see with a cover, but this cover is a glossy cardboard cover, and I feel like without the protective plastic cover, it would just get so full of fingerprints, like finger stains, and it wouldn't be great. I don't know what's happening here. I feel like I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's doing a weird little thing. I feel like I just need to take the cover off and maybe let the book dry, because I don't know if it looks like water got under there, but it's been there for weeks, so I don't know what's going on with it. Anyways, it is a bit of a shame to put a cover on these books because they are so beautiful, and I feel like with a plastic cover you can't see the designs as well. And with my weeks last year, which was the Liberty Fabrics one, I didn't actually have a cover on it because I just didn't know it was a thing when I picked it up. but also because the fabrics is such a nice texture. I love it. I could do this all day. And this is giving me very similar vibes. The fabrics is still nice. The fabrics one is still nicer, but I think this would be really cool without a cover as well. But also, if I'm gonna have it in my bag and just carry it around all of the time, I am afraid of it getting ruined, so I probably will put a cover on it. And I did pick up a new cover just because I am gonna store the old one with the cover on, so I picked up a new plastic cover. And then to kind of match with that, I also got the paper series Hon. The plastic cover that I have on here is not from Hobonichi. Hobonichi do make an A6 cover, but that A6 cover doesn't fit actual A6 books. Well, wait, Hobonichi makes an A6 cover on cover, which is this kind of plastic cover. That cover on cover doesn't fit A6 books, it just fits A6 covers, which are covers like this one that go on top of the book, and then the plastic cover goes on top of this one. So it doesn't actually fit the book straight away. So this one is the MD paper A6 plastic cover. I think that's what it's called. MD notebook cover A6. Because the issue with the Hon is that with the paper series Hon is that it's the same size as a regular A6 original book, rather than a hardcover normal Hon like I have now. And Hobonichi do make an A6 Hon cover, but this book is larger than this book, and so this cover is far too big on this book. I don't know if that makes sense. I might just do a test and show you. I haven't actually tried it out, and I do have the other plastic cover on it, but I don't want to take it out because it was a bit of a struggle to put on, but just so you can see it. Like, it's swimming in it. There's so much overhang. Well, it's not that bad, but there's like a good 5 millimeters of overhang at least on all sides. Really, it really is like kind of moving around in there. Doesn't feel very secure, doesn't feel that protected. And also consider that this also does have another plastic cover on it, so if you just had the book with the A6 Hon cover on it, it would be a nightmare. So I just ended up getting the MD paper one, and it does fit fine. I think what I'm gonna try to do is blow on it with a hairdryer so it gets a little bit looser, because it is a bit tight, but not to the point where I would say it doesn't fit the book. So I think I'm just gonna blow on it a little bit where the spine is, but it does fit it fine. So that's my Hon for 2025. I'm very excited about it. I love it. I love that they match with the weeks. Like, it's all just very exciting. And kind of from that, I'm gonna show you the new pages in this year's Hon as well. So I think this was June. You have seen June. I think I'm just gonna start from the beginning of July. I had a blank page, so I just stuck a picture of my cat on there, which is the way to go about things. Here I went to see Inside Out with my best friend. We just kind of had a free night. I was in the middle of exam session here, so it was all a bit stressful, and we thought it would be nice to just take a night off and go to the movies. Here I was in the lab, probably still also in the lab. Oh, here I was reading Bunny. I'm reading 60 pages from the end of Bunny, so that was an exciting time. Went to the bookshop. Is this the time? This might have been the time where I saw, I don't have it around, but I do have a picture of it in here. That might have been the time that I saw this book in the shop window for the first time, and I immediately fell in love with the cover. It was definitely the cover made me buy it kind of situation, but then I did read the blurb and it sounded very interesting. But I didn't actually buy it until mid-July, but I think on this same day, because this is a screenshot from a video, I think on this same day I took a picture of the other shop window and they had that book, and then I think I was looking at this window and going, I've read that, I've read that, I've read that, which is always funny. Concert day. I had a concert that I went to on my own mid-July. I went to see Youngblood, Imminence and Bring Me the Horizon. It was a great night. I ended up making a friend there, and so I didn't actually spend the entire night alone. We were both there alone and we had a great time, and it was really, really cool. so I also had another picture of him on the next page. Another day in the lab. I never know what to write on those days because it's just, I was in the lab all day, but I made it somehow. Melody's graduation, he had like multiple sort of graduation days because he had 2 theses, and so that was 2 days, and then we had a proper ceremony just last week, so that's one of them. This was a list of things that I wanted to talk about at some point in a video. And then reading updates, so I'd finished reading Bunny, and then I think is when I started reading The Ministry of Time. I started reading it on the bus on the way to this concert. Made tomato soup. I think I just had tomatoes and it was a bit of a cooler day and I wanted tomato soup. These are stickers from my friend Ness. I'm gonna also leave her account in the description. And then this is just one of my own stickers. More of my own stickers. Graduation of my other best friend, Francesca, which is actually moving in with me on Sunday, so that's very exciting. But this is just a picture with some of our university friends. This is the day that I took my maths exam, which was my last exam of my bachelor's. I've been saying it would be my last exam for 3 years, and it ended up being that. It was a first year course, so that's why it was funny, but it went really, really well. And then the day after, we went out with some other uni friends to celebrate graduation of another one of our friends, but she's in this picture. And then I just realized there's a picture where you can kind of see my house on here. I should go back and put a poster on it, but I've covered it up for now. But on this day, with a Discord server that I'm part of, we decided to do a zine jam, and so I made a zine. I really, really love it, actually. Let me know if you want me to put that on the shop for you to print out. I haven't done that so far, but I do think it's cute. I ended up going back and finishing it with a bunch of handwritten text, and I think it is really, really pretty. Another picture of a cat, because I had an empty page. This is one of the cats. That's like a big garden on a walk that I take on the way to university, and I have another picture of another one of the cats at some point in the book, but I had a blank page where I was just in the lab, and so I put a picture of them. This is a picture of my mum and my grandma, because they had lunch together and it was really cute, so I printed it out, but I'm not going to show everyone. And then this is when I was working on my summer stickers. This one I ended up releasing, this one I ended up never finishing, but I might revisit it at some point. I just couldn't get it to work out, so it's just staying in the ideas pile for now. And then these were kind of the last few days of the month. I was really tired. I was just, it was the last few days of my internship. I'd finished exams at that point. I was thinking about buying this pen, and I was just tired, and it was hot, and I just wanted to finish. The last day was actually really lovely. I ended up buying croissants so we could all have breakfast together. I had a really good experience in the lab, and I just wanted to like kind of say goodbye to everyone. I'm really glad for that experience, but it was also July and I'd had a really long exam session and I just wanted to be done and on holiday. So then beginning of August, we went out for dinner with some family friends to celebrate the end of my exams. It was a really good dinner. This risotto was so good. Cat. Necessary. You need a picture of a cat every once in a while. That is my cat, by the way. And then, I don't know, maybe a picture of my grandma. I'm not sure what's underneath her. Oh no, that's a family friend. But we went out for pizza again. That's me and my mum, because I was babysitting this family friend. And then on one of the nights, my dad wasn't home, and so me and my mum didn't feel like cooking, and so we just went out for pizza instead. And then here I came back to Turin. I just came back for a day to like pick up my stuff before going to the seaside, and so I didn't actually have anything in the fridge, so that's a lunch order. And then this is when we left to go to the seaside. Me and my dad went on a nice motorbike trip, and we visited like an abandoned NATO station, I think it was, and it's full of graffiti. It's full of really, really cool graffiti. So I took a picture of that. And then this is when I went to visit Francesca at the seaside. We bought a Kodak disposable camera, one of the ones that can go underwater, and we took, I thought I had a photo of the fishes somewhere, but Oh, I think it's in one of these books. Yeah, these ones. So we used up that and there were a couple of really pretty pictures. I think a lot of them actually turned out really well, but that was one of me underwater and then one of us together that I wanted to collect, to put in here. Using some more of my stickers. I think the blues matched really well, so I was really happy to use them. More days at the seaside, just food and the water and just taking things nice and slow, though I was doing research for my thesis, but it was good to do things not in a rush. This is a day that I went out with my mum to a different city to do some shopping. We didn't actually buy anything. No, just kidding. I bought a pair of trousers. I bought a pair of linen trousers that I have like 3 of at this point, but they were on a really good sale, and I thought, if they're making a good thing this year, they're not gonna make it anymore next year, because that's what it always happens. So I'm gonna buy another pair. And I think these are just the last few days before coming home. That was the day at the beach. Then we came home. This is the day that we came home. Me and my dad went on another little motorbike trip and we stopped at a lake to eat lunch. A deer? Well, it's not actually a deer, but I don't know what it's called in English, but there's a garden where they have some of them and they're always very friendly and very cute. And then here I'm back to Turin. So here I was starting to write my thesis, and that was the desk situation. I finally managed to pick up these candle holders from IKEA. I found them in France, of all places. We went to Nice on one of the days. I'm not sure on which of them, because I didn't put a picture of it. I thought I had. Don't know. Might have to go back and print it and add it in, but I finally managed to find some of these and they look really cute on the desk, so I wanted to document it. This is a day where I went to the farmer's market. They have a farmer's market here every morning, and I went to... okay, so this is the day where I went and I bought like 6 kilos of tomatoes. That was a fun ride back home on the bus. And then this is the day that my blender arrived, and so I actually made like 12 portions of soup to freeze and put in the freezer. So that was a fun day. Cat, again, necessary. This was really her spot this summer, because it's kind of cool and a bit humid and she loves it. Then here I had lunch outside with my dad, and I just thought it was a really good evening, so documented that. I think my mum was at the seaside with my grandma this day, and then Hobonichi order day, so I obviously put a picture of my order. This is when I picked up crochet just a couple of weeks ago, so this was a little experiment. This was actually from a few days after, but I'd already written on the entire page, so I put it a couple of days prior. And then this is a picture that, funnily enough, I'd stuck this way around, but then not thinking that like then the photo on the back would be upside down, so then I had to peel it off. I don't know if you can see, but the paper got a bit ruined. I had to peel it off and then stick it back down, so they were actually both the right way up. But this was just some cute journal spreads, and then this is from I think the day after when I got back home, and Teiki was just having a look around the car, and I found her in this really cute corner, and I love that picture, so there we go. Went to order my graduation flowers. This was Francesca's graduation party. She did graduate in July, and we celebrated with some university friends, but she hadn't yet like properly celebrated with all of her friends from back home, so I was also invited to that. We had a really good night. And then I was still at hers the day after. We just spent the day kind of looking at her like seashell collections, and she has a Nintendo game that's very similar to Stardew Valley, and so we've just been talking about the two games and like how similar they are, and she finally got to show me the game, and it really is very similar. It's very cool. Hobonichi order arrived, very, very exciting. I realized I also haven't shown you the cover properly yet, but I'm gonna show you in a second. But needed to document that. And then this is the day that I drove back to the seaside to spend a few days there with my grandma and one of her sisters. And I just spent the first few days there finishing my thesis. So this is actually the day that I finished writing it, but I have a picture to print out for this. And I also just very recently in the past couple of days caught up with with some of these entries at least, because I didn't have a lot of alone time when I was there. So I did a lot of drawing and a lot of reading at the beach, but in kind of the days following thesis writing, but I didn't actually have a lot of alone time to properly journal, if that makes sense. And then this was the last day. And this was the day when we came back, and we came back just in time for my new Traveler's Notebook inserts to get delivered. So again, I'll talk about those in a second. I feel like I've been talking for so long. I've just stopped the camera and started recording again because it's got like a half an hour limit, and I haven't looked at how long it's been recording for, but I don't want to know. And then it's just been a lot of writing. The past few days. Here I was home for a couple of days, and then I have some pictures to print out from Mallory's proper graduation ceremony on Friday, and then a wine fest that we went to with some uni friends over the weekend. And so I have definitely more than one picture to print from that, but what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print one picture to keep in here, and then in one of these books I'm planning on making like sort of like a carousel where it's like 6 different photos or something. Also, this got stained all over with sunscreen on one of the days where I had this in my bag, and my sunscreen kind of exploded. It's also on the front of my sketchbook and it's not great, but it is what it is. I'll probably just like skip writing in the top lines so the pen doesn't smudge. But and then this was the day after the fest, and so we went back for lunch. And this was Monday when I finished corrections on my thesis, because I got, basically I sent it out for corrections, I got it back revised, and then I had to kind of implement all of those. And then this was yesterday, which was the first day of university, but I haven't written about it yet. So I'm going to do yesterday's entry and today's entry tonight. And then we just have the rest of the year. I do have, by the way, just because I opened it, these are pages from last December, when I didn't yet have a book like this, and so I just used the last like 14 empty spreads that are at the back of this book to journal about those days. But this is a little chunk update for anyone that is interested. I'm gonna also do a comparison with the new book. I find this so funny. This is ridiculous. This is also so much heavier. At the bottom especially, you can tell. This is really chunked up. But I love this book. And then a new book for 2025. And because, probably should have shown this earlier, but because this book doesn't have a hardcover like this Hon does, because this is a regular Hon, this is a paper series one, I really wanted to have like an extra protective cover that I could put this book in for the weekends when I travel back and forth, so it doesn't get too banged up. And I really love this cover from last year. It's the Have a Nice Day cover in mint from last year, and I just really love the grey. I didn't know it was gonna be blue, or like I didn't know when I ordered, but initially I didn't know. I thought it was black. It isn't. The elastic is blue. I might try to dye it, to be honest. I might just get some fabric dye and dye it black because I would prefer that. But the book does fit inside here. I wasn't entirely sure, but it does. It does also fit inside here with the plastic cover. I tried it this morning. It's a bit of a squeeze, but it does fit. Though I'm probably going to take the cover off before I put it in here, but we'll see. It looks really good inside of the cover. I'm not going to put it in now because it's a bit fiddly with the plastic cover, but it looks really cute in here. And I'm really glad that I was able to still find it. It's one of last year's covers, but it's so cute. I love it. So that's the 2025 lineup in terms of Hobonichi stuff. And then the Traveler's Notebook Chaos. So, where to begin? So this is the end of June. So I think you will have seen all of that. Then this is the beginning of July. I have this book out just so I could show you the last few pages. I'm not even sure that I entirely finished it. I don't know. Yeah, there's a blank page there. It's fine. I'm not gonna go back and fill it in. And then from there, I started a new book. No effort whatsoever was put in the first page, and then I set up a whole bunch of pages to talk about the concert that I went to, because I had some really cool pictures from there. And that's peeling up, that's not great. And I ended up never actually writing in here. Oh, that picture, I think because of the sunscreen, that picture blurred to the other side. That's also not great. Sorry about that. Anyways, because July was a crazy month, I ended up never actually writing about the whole thing. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna go back and do it, because it's one of those things that makes sense to like do it when you first come back from a concert. Right now, I don't know how much I would have to say about it. I can probably fill like 1 or 2 pages, but probably not all of them. Maybe I'll just copy down the set lists and things like that. We'll see. That's another one for Bring Me the Horizon. So they've just been blank. They've just been sitting there. And that's all for July. That's all. That's like 3 pages. And then we start with August. So August does have a bit more, starting off with a very strong foot, with a stamp of 71 August 2024. 71st of August, of course. And it's upside down as well. So that's wonderful. This is some inspiration for a project that I can't talk about yet. More inspo for that. And then this is the day that I went out shopping with my mum, and we got a poke bowl for lunch, and they had a really cool menu. So you could take one of them. So I stamped the day on the front, and I just put it in here. Some Stardew Valley reference pages. I am gonna set up proper pages again in one of the new books, I think, but this has just been like some references that I made for myself, a list of things that I wanted to do. This is a checklist for the Monster Slayer goals, which I actually need to update, but I need to go to the Adventurers Guild to get some rewards. I think I've done 2 or 3 more, I think. And then some likes and dislikes, because it's actually only my first playthrough. I'm at a pretty good point. I'm like 50% of the way to perfection, and I do want to get to perfection, but I don't remember the likes and dislikes of everyone. Museum checklist, and then some prices for some things. More reminders of things that I wanted to do, and then I just left some blank space to keep writing in it. And I have been continuing to write in it, so it's good that I did that. Then here I was talking about the full reveal, like when the full lineup was revealed. I had thoughts about a lot of the things, and so I printed out some pictures and I journaled about it all. And I'm really happy with how these spreads turned out. I think they're really, really beautiful. And here I was having some thoughts about this new setup. So basically what's going on with that is that I have been wanting to separate things a little bit more. The way that I first set up my Traveler's Notebook was with a 3-book system, and I like the 3-book system. I like the weight of it. I like having things separated. I can never like have everything in one book. It doesn't work for me. Everything gets so chaotic, and I never find anything, and it's the same as having it all in my head. You know, like the good thing about journals is that I can compartmentalize things and tidy things up. If I had everything in one book, I wouldn't tidy anything up. It would just be the same chaos that I have in my head, and it just wouldn't work. So I wanted to split things out a little bit more, and I've just started setting that up. I haven't figured out everything yet, but one of them is an art book and like a work progress book, and that's the one that I've kind of set up the best. And then the plan for the other 2 is for one of them to be more of a commonplace book, and for the other to be an overflow journaling book. So kind of like just general journaling and any overflow from the Hon. We'll see. I'm not going to be too strict about any of that. We'll see. I'm particularly unsure about the overflow book, but then I think it would be nice to have the commonplace a bit separate, and to just kind of keep actual commonplace entries and book reviews in there, but I'm not sure. we'll see how that kind of evolves as I properly start to use it, because I am still finishing this book in the meantime as well. And so I've really only set up and started using the art book so far. So that'll probably be something that I update you a bit better about next month. And so here I was just kind of thinking about what I wanted to do about them, basically, and some spread ideas and some things like that. This is when I actually bought that book that I was talking about earlier. We got back the pictures developed from that camera. I was doing fairly recent entry, like fairly consistent entries. That's what I meant. And here I was using some of Nicole Josephine's stickers, and I think she's gonna have a shop update this weekend, I believe. If this video is going out right after I film it, which I think it will be, or maybe in a couple of days time, but still, I think this weekend she's having a shop update, and I really want to order some stickers from her. So I'm very excited about that. But these are printables from Patreon from like last year. A picture of a sketchbook page that I really liked. This was inspired by Nana, and I just really love how the page turned out. My Hobonichi pamphlet and just bits that came with the books. I still need to journal about them, but I wanted to wait until I knew more about what to say, like more of what to say about this pen. And also then this is the day that I went to the seaside, and so then I wasn't really journaling much for a few days because I was not having a lot of alone time. And then here is when I started working on the date stickers I made. This is not the full page, but I made a set of date stickers. That's a lot more than this, but it's when I started working on them. And so I was journaling about my ideas. And then just a couple more pages since I've been back. Here I wanted to journal a couple of days ago about the weekend away, and then I fell asleep. So I might just have to change the date to today and journal about it tonight. And then I still have a few pages left here in the back. I do want to finish it, so I'm in no rush to finish setting up the new books. This is just keeping track of card game scores, but I've been very loose with using this book, and I've been having a really good time with that. And I think that's something that I want to carry forward with my journaling style, in terms of like this kind of entry. For the work/art book, I do want it to be a bit more curated and a bit more artsy, just because I do think that that's fun, but it's not something that I necessarily want to have in every book. I think it's nice to have a balance of both. Like I think it's nice to have a place where I can do more curated and like aesthetically pleasing spreads, and then also have a place where I can just write, and I can write really messily if I want to, and I can just stick down pictures that don't match together, or just like keep down card game scores and just have it be a bit more messy and a bit more spontaneous. So I think it's nice to kind of have a balance of the two. So I got 3 books. These are all inserts from Good Impressions on Etsy. I'll leave the link to the shop and the listing in particular that I bought these from in the description as well. These are, I believe, 68 GSM Tomo River paper, so it is a bit thicker than the Hobonichi paper, and there is no ghosting whatsoever with fountain pen, even when you color it in or do anything like that. I was very impressed. The Hobonichi paper does ghost, not that much, but it does ghost with a fountain pen. This, very impressive. The paper is very smooth. I love it. The cardstock covers are a really nice texture, and they all came with page tabs. So because I ordered 3 books, they came with a silver, a gold, and a bronze one. Did not know they were going to come with page tabs, so it was a great surprise, and they're really cute. They're really pretty page tabs. And I think they're 60 or so pages. And overall just really good quality, really enjoying them. And I got the black cover. I think it's called Charcoal Grey, but there's only one black option, so you can't really go wrong. But this is the workbook. I do think I'm probably going to decorate the covers a little bit in one way or another to be able to differentiate them at a glance a bit easier, but I put down like a screenshot from a Studio Ghibli film, because I thought it was it kind of made sense with the mood of the book, and wrote down a small introduction for what my intentions were for this book. And then here I was talking about the date sticker project. I am also probably going to talk about like journaling updates in this book, so I put down a picture that I took when these notebooks first arrived just to document that. And then more updates about the stickers. These are some of the other stickers that I designed to kind of fill out the rest of the page, because they didn't fit in an A5 page, and they didn't take up enough space on an A4 either, so I had kind of a weird gap at the bottom to fill out. And then here are some thoughts about another project that I'm working on. It's the one that I can't talk about. I don't mind you seeing little bits, but I'm not gonna share what it actually is, so that's why the name is covered. And I've just kind of set up another page to write about it, and this is a picture that my friend Kat very, very kindly sent over. She went on a walk in the forest a few days ago and shared some pictures that I printed out for my notebooks, which was very, very kind of her. They are beautiful pictures and exactly the kind of vibe that I'm going for with this project, so I'm very happy to have them to put in here. And then the rest of the book is just blank, so not much else to see there. In this one, which is the one that's meant to be more of the overflow journaling book, I've just set up the index page. Done no writing in here yet because I'm still doing all of that in the other notebook that I haven't finished. And then this is meant to be more of the commonplace, so I copied out an entry that was titled "In Memory of Memory" that I found on Tumblr, and I saved it a while ago, knowing that I wanted to copy it out in here, and I have a few more that I want to write down here, and then there's a few books that I also need to talk about. So I think I'm gonna finish setting this up properly over the weekend. I am kind of transferring over what I was doing in this rings book in here basically, but I really haven't been reaching for the rings book. I don't know if it's because the rings are small, and so I'm afraid I'll fill this up too much and I will have to start taking out pages, and I don't know what I want to do with that. But it wasn't working. The idea of it was really good, but practically it wasn't working. So I do want to transfer over some stuff, and especially I want to transfer over a spread like this where I can keep track of books that I'm reading. I actually need to cross these off because I read all of them between yesterday and today as I'm waiting for the new season to come out. Oops. And then there's also a couple of other books that I think I need to cross off, maybe, or at least add. But I will kind of do all of the transferring over the weekend because I don't really have anything planned for then. Also, this is just really chunky. I loved having the extra space for making cute spreads, but then I just wasn't keeping up with all of the lengthy book reviews because I've not really had that much time, and I don't know. I wanted to try this out, so we'll see how that goes, but I do think that just having the trio of them together like this will be very cute, and also together with next year's books. Like, come on. This is the perfect setup for me. I love it. So that's kind of the plan. I don't know, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? I feel like I might be missing something, but if I am, then I can't remember what it is, because I think this is just kind of everything that I wanted to talk about so far. Journaling has been going much better throughout August and September than I did in July, and so I was very excited to finally get to share a bunch of these pages. I think that, some of these pages, like in the workbook, are really, really pretty, and I love them. The pages in the Han are probably, I don't want to say that they're nothing special, because they're special to me, because they're special memories, but they're not like particularly exciting to see necessarily for you, I would assume. But so I hope that wasn't boring, but it's just been so cool to be able to flip back through this and see how much has happened in the last few months. Like, it's really made the passage of time very tangible, and and everything that has happened in the past few months very tangible, and I really love it. And that's kind of why I really wanted another haunt for next year, basically. So that's it. Nothing, I don't think I have anything else to say. Oh, actually, yes, what I wanted to show you, I remembered. I haven't been using the calendars a lot. I use them as references, and I'm gonna probably use them more again now that I'm starting university again, but I decorated the page for September with some books as well. I do need to write down the book that I'm currently reading as well, but I basically put down a sticker on the day that I started reading each of these books, and I think I might then at the end of the month write down like a super quick like 2-line review of each of them or something like that, to kind of keep track of it just at a glance, and also it's a fun spread to decorate. I haven't done much of that, and the funny thing is that the reason why I first picked up the weeks last year while I was using the Traveler's Notebook Weekly Plus Memo that has a very similar planning setup is that I wanted these calendars, and now I'm not using them, so that's very funny. But I do really love the weeks very dearly. So that's just the extra bit that I wanted to show you. But I hope that you enjoyed the ramble. There was a lot to catch you up on, but I always like seeing other people's journal spreads. I feel like it's very inspiring. And I hope that you're having a really lovely day. I hope you're having a good time journaling. And if you have anything journaling related to share in the comments, if you have a favorite journal at the moment, I would love to hear about that. I think this month, or like the past couple of weeks, not even weeks, the past week, the favorite journal has definitely been this one. Like, come on, look at these. I love these spreads so much. They're very me. They feel very me, with it being very monochrome and very, it's not minimal because there's a lot of stuff going on, but it feels very minimal with like the colors. I love it. Anyways, that's my favorite book of the week, I suppose. So I'd love to know if you also have a favorite book going on at the moment. And I'm probably gonna see you next month with a similar kind of video with the October wrap up. And in the meantime, if you want to follow along for weekly adventures, you can check that out. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'll see you soon. Bye.